We're back. And we're here today, man. Little lack of technology, little last second. Ooh, just like that. Let me pause this music. Can I just say this? Hold up. Can I just say this? I gotta let them know right here, right now that, man, it feels good to have football on TV. It's Cody's Corner. As I take these off as I usually do. Hello, everybody, and welcome officially to Cody's Corner, Cody's week-by-week hot takes on who's going to take the W in the sports you're worried about. Last episode finally came out with that clown episode. Oh, my God. I want to tell you guys this. Hold up. Throat's a little parched. Let me take a little sip. I had to let them know. I think that last video of me dressed as a clown, it took a lot out of me mentally. And what do I say by that? Yes, there was 2 cameras. There was more people involved. There was more motion. I wasn't in the regular studio. All those things are true. But what really took it out of me was the fact that I was in a clown costume. And, like, look, I don't doubt that it's hard in general. But what I want to say is that to watch yourself get transformed into a clown is a very mental experience, you know, just like seeing yourself transform with the makeup and the nose, and you put the wig on and the goofy clothes on. Like, I felt like Joaquin Phoenix in the Joker. I don't know if I'm assuming most people have seen that Joker movie. Fantastic movie. The first one was great, the second one was mid. But just slowly, I felt like I was going crazy in there, like walking out, feeling like I was myself, and everyone's looking at me like kind of funny, not like in a weird way, but like that's crazy, you know. And it took a lot out of me psychologically to put that whole video together. Even though it was 5 minutes, it was gonna be longer. I'm still working on my video editing skills, so with a mix of like trying to interpret time-lapse videos and all that stuff you guys don't care about, it was a lot. I'm glad we did it. I'm glad I got that punishment out the way. I promise to myself I will not be the one putting the punishment in next year, all right? So that's what we're here to talk about today, man. I don't have my laptop on me. I pulled a David. Excuse me. I have one thing from Beyond that David wanted me to talk about, which is unrelated to football. It'll be the only thing that we talk about today that's unrelated to football, which is actually what's going on with the whole Kawhi Leonard scandal. So I'm taking a little look right here. Actually, listen, we have technology. I'll record my phone screen, which will be a little different, but we'll try it. Here we go. Screen record. Record. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I'm gonna click on it. I got a text. Let's see. Steve Ballmer and the team are under investigation by the NBA following a report that Kawhi Leonard allegedly accepted a $28 million endorsement from a company called Aspiration as a way to circumvent the league's salary cap. Now, that's what we call finesse, right? And I heard someone say this weeks ago when this all popped off, and it made sense to me. I'm gonna shut this off for a second. And the reason why is this. It's not because I'm not used to people trying to get around financial finesse, white collar crime, things like that. I went to school for business. These are things I'm familiar with. That's not a problem to me. The problem to me, and why it actually made sense, is because if there was anybody in the league that was going to go out of their way to try to finesse a little extra money by doing nothing, I feel like it's Kawhi. You know, just the amount of time that he spends injured. He was going to be on the Olympic team, then he wasn't on the Olympic team. He got paid this, and that. He didn't even suit up, didn't even stay with the team. It sounds very Kawhi Leonard to me. You know, he's always injured, which means he's always being incorporated in the time management. They're paying him to do nothing anyway, right? So it kind of just ties all in. I hope to God it's not true. I guess more information will be indulged in as we get along. But listen, man, I think that's rough, bro. That's a rough look, especially from a 2-time NBA champion, someone who is, I don't want to say idolized, but everybody who was anywhere remembers that Last second shot coming from the side of that Philly game. Squatted down, see if it went in. It was all emotional, right? People like this guy as a player. He's an all-star. He's not a regular star. He's an all-star. So to see him involved in something like this is crazy to me, you know? And given there's a lot of investigation going on lately anyway, as far as people throwing for betting. So it kind of like tied in, not that he was throwing, but that people are doing stuff under the books that they shouldn't be doing, you know? So I hope that things get resolved, and if anyone is guilty, that they're penalized as they should be. I'll leave it right there. I got some stuff I want to talk about, man. NFL is back, bro. Now, I put the clown video out, so I didn't get a chance to have a little week 1 guess on who was going to play well and who wasn't. And, you know, honestly, that's my bad. I'm going to go ahead and take that on the chest and say, listen, I messed up. I want to talk to you about Thursday Night Football that just passed. Week 2, Thursday Night Football, the first game, Washington against Green Bay. There's 2 big question marks in that game. Is Jaden Daniels about to go through a sophomore slump? Now, you guys know that since he came in the league, I'm a Jaden Daniels guy, right? But what is my thing I always say about rookie quarterbacks? You can't trust them. If they're doing bad, you can't trust them. If they're doing good, you can't trust them. Rookie quarterbacks are like the epitome of expectation for the future. Jaden Daniels looked a mess last night. Excuse me, today's Saturday. 2 nights ago now. It's going to be put out on Sunday, so it'll be Thursday for you guys. He looked horrible on Thursday. I mean, yes, I'll get into that in a second. But this is the other question mark. It's going to tie it all together. One big happy bow, right? Are the Green Bay Packers the real deal? People want to say, yeah. People are saying the Green Bay Packers look like a Super Bowl contender. They just beat Detroit week 1. Now they come into week 2 and they beat Washington. Those are 2 pretty formidable teams, if I say so myself. You know, obviously the Lions are missing a lot of new old coaches that made them successful last year, as well as the Washington Commanders being a contending team, almost went to the NFC Championship. It was a lot going on, right? Okay. However, there are 2 sides to that. I'm not sure if Jaden Daniels is about to go on a sophomore slump, because let's be real, right? Obviously, Jaden Daniels won his week 1. It was against the New York Giants. Can we talk about that? Let me put this to the side. I keep kicking this. It was against the New York Giants. Okay, they're no one to brag about. They're still starting Russell Wilson. What's going on there, right? The New York Giants are not a team to be proud of that you beat week 1. So now you go against a real team, a team that you're actually going to have to face that level of competition in the playoffs in Green Bay, and they smack you. Does that mean that Green Bay is that nice? Now, they were playing their ass off on Thursday, right? They have, what's very noticeable is their defense is quick. They get to the player with the ball very quickly. Jaden Daniels had no space to move, and he kind of had to resort to a lot of short passes to the running back, and then Austin Eckler tears his Achilles out for the season. Yikes. Thank God that the Commanders have Deebo Samuel right now. Thank God. And he's another one that deals with injury. He was injured last year, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know what to make out of that game. But if we're talking about reviewing games, I know something to make of this game I'm about to talk about from last week, and then we'll dive into everything that's going on this week. My New York Jets. Take a pause. Take a sip. I'm going to get into it. I can feel it already. My nose is dripping. The New York Jets lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers week 1, right? However, there are many good takeaways as well as bad takeaways from this game. Now, Aaron Glenn impressed me as a head coach week 1. Can we say that? Even like how, and I'm not saying that negative things can attribute to a positive factor, but even the fact that he dropped Xavier Gibson, I was like, what? Because Xavier Gibson was the reason that we won that week 1 game 2 years ago with Aaron Rodgers when he tore his Achilles. Obviously, heartbreaking moment. They're about to end the game. Punt return for the win. It was a big dramatic moment, and Xavier Gibson was at the center of that, and he became like this, wow, who is this guy, right? He fumbles a return in this game against Pittsburgh. Gone out of there. See you later. I believe he's going to be a Giant, as a matter of fact. Gone out of there. See you later. That kind of is showing me the level of expectation that Aaron Glenn is putting on the Jets, and I like it. Now, Aaron Glenn was supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken, and someone please correct me if I'm wrong, a defensive coach, right? He was supposed to be one that had a lot of defensive knowledge. He was a cornerback when he played for the Jets himself. He's supposed to be a very defensive-minded person in the game of football. The defense was getting to the running backs. Our line was looking very successful. But Aaron Rodgers was out there in Pittsburgh kind of almost looking as if he was doing what he felt like at the receiver position. Yes, DK Metcalf got shut down. He did. Calvin Austin was doing what he felt like. Freiermuth was doing what he felt like. Jaylen Warren caught a passing touchdown, for God's sakes. So that's the bad part of it. Defensive-minded coach, our defense wasn't doing a lot. It was a big back and forth. But the fourth part was what I'm excited about. The offense was in a shootout. Can we talk about Justin Fields for a second? He looked poised. He looked calm. I don't even think he threw an interception that game, if I'm not mistaken. I'll pop it up on the screen if I can find it when I'm editing. I believe they were the number 1 ranked offense in week 1. Who in the world could have told you that 2 weeks ago? No one. Nobody. Because listen. Nobody. Like, it was at that point where obviously you expect a defensive-centered team, and they didn't do that, but they gave you a whole something different. That's kind of like when your parents can't get you the gift that you want for Christmas. And you say, we couldn't get you, let's say, I don't know, a PlayStation, but we got you this really nice hoodie. Now you walking around school kind of sick that you don't got this PlayStation, but that hoodie is coming in handy when it's getting cold outside, you know? So you kind of have that push and pull where you're upset that the defense isn't living up to its expectation, but the offense is blowing the expectation out of proportion. So there are definitely good and bad things to take out of it. We play Buffalo week 2. I think that's going to be an amazing game, right? So with that being said, let's jump into week 2. I'm not going to bore you with everything and anything going on week 2. However, I'm going to pick 3 games outside of Jets. I know I don't want to be biased. I'll pick 3 other games, and we'll see how they do. So I'm going to scroll through. I'm going to record my screen one more time. Why not? You guys don't mind a little phone screen record, do you? I didn't think so. So we'll get into it right here. Bears-Lions divisional game probably won't be that exciting, though. Broncos-Colts, I think that might be an interesting one. Another divisional. Both won week 1. Obviously, we got to talk about this. Like, that, what are they calling him? Indiana Jones. Daniel Jones played his ass off week 1. Now, same thing as when I was talking about Washington with New York. Yes, they won, but they won against Miami. Miami looks like they are crumbling in on themselves internally. It looks like Mike McDaniels might be losing that locker room. It looks like Mike McDaniels already lost Tyreek Hill. Tua looked like a mess out there. And I don't want to say it was because of the Colts defense. Even though they're good, they caught 2 picks, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3. And that's good. But they were overthrown balls. There weren't like spectacular catches by a defensive player. Tua's overthrowing them. You know, so I kind of like same thing, push and pull. Is it because of this or because of that? But Daniel Jones, I believe he broke the record for the first time since the 1970s, where the Colts scored on every offensive drive they had, which is amazing, right? You got to give him his flowers if flowers are due, right? Indiana Jones, I love the name. Love the hype. I think it's cool. We got a divisional game right here on CBS at 4 o'clock. It looks like the favorite is probably the Broncos, which makes sense. The Broncos had a little success last year. But look, another rookie quarterback. Sophomore. Slump? Question mark? Who knows? I don't know, but I know it's a divisional game and people always play harder when they're in their division, right? You assume that Denver's going to win this game. You assume. It's a midday game. Is it at? I believe it's at Denver if they're calling it like that. That should be a good game. 425, Eagles, Chiefs. Here we go. Now, Chiefs are coming off a loss in Brazil. And they lost to the Chargers. Another divisional game. Yikes. But they have a little bit longer of a week now. They didn't play since last Friday. Not Thursday, Friday. Now they come back in. I don't know if this is at. I believe it's in this new setup for ESPN. And I'll talk about that in a second when we get into fantasy. No, I didn't forget about fantasy. But there's a little new template to these games. I believe the one on the bottom is where they're at. So I'm going to just say it like that. So they're at Arrowhead. Had a longer week. Go back to Kansas City. Right? Philly coming off a win. You know, they played Dallas. Dallas is another team that obviously lost Micah Parsons, so they might have a little more struggle on defense where they're the shootout team on offense. Kansas City, they were kind of on that limbo of that point differential. Are they going to win? Are they going to lose type situation? I hope, for Patty Mahomes' sake, cut his hair, cut off the mohawk. Disappointed in him, right? You might see the only ring they get this year is from Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. I'm sorry, but I don't want to get distracted. Listen, that's a good game right there. That's a championship level game right there. Arguably the best quarterback against arguably the best running back, and another top 10 quarterback in Jalen Hurts, and one of the best tight ends in the game in Travis Kelce. One of the best receivers in the league in A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Take your pick, bro. This is like coach against coach. This is a game right here, right? However, I want to look at the odds. Philly's projected to be the favorite in this. Let's see. And the total's 47.5. That's a little high. That's a little high, I gotta say. 24 on both sides of the ball. It's a little high. But they're high-scoring teams, so who knows? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey, who knows, right? I think that's a good game, right? We'll go through one more. Let's see if we can pick one. Chargers-Raiders would probably be cool. Another divisional game. Let's stay out of that division, though. Let's go with something else. Let's pick this one right here. Sunday Night Football. Falcons at Minnesota. Minnesota, right? J.J. McCarthy, I was ready to turn off that game last week in the third quarter. He threw that pick six. I'm like, all right, this guy's exactly what I thought he was going to be. This and that. Can't believe it. They're wasting Jetta's talent. He comes back and wins that game against a divisional game against the Bears. That was a well-fought game, and you got to give flowers or flowers to do. J.J. McCarthy, well done, right? Atlanta coming off a loss, also has one of the best running backs in the league, and Bijan Robinson. Everybody's trying to still say Bijan, even though he came out and said it's Bijan. You got to respect how a guy says their name, Bijan. That's like someone coming up on here. My name's Dakota, and someone calls me, hey, Dakote. No, it's not Dakote. It's Dakota. Cody's corner, but my name's not Dakote, okay? Just like his name isn't Bijan. So, Bijan Robinson, one of the best running backs in NFL, coming up. Then on the other side, you got arguably the best receiver in football in Justin Jefferson. This is going to be an electric game, I can already tell. If you were to ask me, I'm going to say I'll put a little ticket in. Let me give you a little Cody's Corner parlay, right? Give me Justin Jefferson anytime. Give me, why not? Atlanta money line. Bijan anytime. And I'm going to take the under on this one. Minnesota has a good defense. And Atlanta's coming off a loss. So Obviously, they know they have a good running back. They may have to. I'm not saying they have bad receivers, but they may end up throwing the ball more often than they did before. Michael Penix seems to know what he's doing. I'm gonna say, give me the under at 44.5. I'm gonna mark that right there, right? And now for everyone's favorite part of the show, we're gonna tap over here, go into my fantasy. Can I click that from here? No, sorry. I'm gonna end this video. Listen, we're doing things a little different this time. My laptop wasn't charging the way I thought it was. Sorry. We're going to scroll over here. Get right back into this video. I be yelling out, gang, gang. Have you ever heard that video? Do you gang bang? What? All right, we're going to go back into it. I'm obviously here to talk about King of the Corner. I lost my first game to David, guys. It's out. You got to put it out. Now, I'm nervous that I'm looking for a pattern, but I got 2 words for my reason for success this week. We're going to jump into it. Tucker Kraft. Oh, my Lord. Thursday Night Football, tragic to see. Jaden Reed broke his collarbone. They're still waiting on Christian Watson to come back. There was a lot of injuries going back and forth. Tucker Kraft was there, and he was there to play 24.4 points. During the draft, everybody was like, I don't know. Is this going to be the guy that you're looking for? That's kind of a high place to pick Tucker Kraft. It's paying off today. All right, I don't know about tomorrow. I don't know about the next week or the week after that or the next day or the next day.
And the next day. And the next day. And the next day. And the next day.
But today, 24.4, I'm not mad. We're going to go week by week. Got my boy Ronnie Cigarillo. Got Patty, James Conner, Breece Hall, Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase was a disappointment week 1. He only put up 4.6. I was the first pick in the draft. Took him first pick, 4.6. Kind of a disappointment. However, I do know statistically that the Bengals are never successful in the month of September. So I give that a little leeway. You can't really take him out of the mix because he has potential to be the number 1 that you took him at, but it's kind of hard to leave him there as well. Keon Coleman went absolutely insane last week against the Ravens. What a great game as well. I don't really have time to talk about that one, unfortunately. It's looking close. Side by side, I want to say that overall my 2 running backs are better than his 2 running backs. I want to say that he has T. Higgins, where I have Jamar Chase, that yin and yang. If one has a good game, one has a bad game, that could be kind of scary. Otherwise, they're kind of even. I like my tight end better, and it's easier to say that with 24.4 on the board. You feel me, Ronnie? But I think that we're all right. I like my flex better than his flex. And I'm a little more scared about the Eagles DST than I am about the Steelers. Even though I don't want to say that they were letting the Jets do what they wanted, because the Jets number 1 offense. But that doesn't mean that the Steelers don't do anything against the Seahawks this week coming up. What's his name? Sammy D didn't look too hot last week. Fumbled in the red zone. It was kind of doing whatever. It is all right, right? Where he has potential to kind of plug in other people if he wanted to. Can't really touch Ricky Pearsall right now with Brock Purdy out. It's kind of sad. You see that 17.4 from Debo on his bench. It's kind of scary, but listen, I'm gonna plead the 5th on mine because I believe in juju. I believe in superstition. I don't wear jerseys on game days. I'm gonna leave mine right there. Who we got next? We got Alex against Joey M. Looks like Alex has a 60% chance of winning. Jaden Daniels put up 19, but Terry McLaurin only with 9. Kind of sad for him. Josh Jacobs had a decent game at 14.4 on Alex's side. Let's see what else we got here. Keenan Allen kind of had a decent game, and it's a divisional game against Las Vegas. That should be interesting. Malik Neighbors' divisional game against a slacking Dallas defense on 1 o'clock. That could be a good game for Alex. I have a feeling that A.J. Brown may not have as much of a great game. Achan, another divisional game against New England. A lot of divisional games this week. The NFL, man, they know what they're doing, bro. Jaden Reed with a fat 0. That's going to really hurt Joey a lot. But I think his tight end has more potential in Detroit against Chicago. No, that's not Chicago. Oh, it is Detroit. Excuse me. Oh, man, look at that stash right there. Oh my God. He said, it's a me. Holy shit, bro. What the world is that one? Can we zoom in? Oh, wow, that was very dad of me. Can you zoom in on that one? I'm really scared about that stash. I don't even want to click on that anymore. Wow. Anywho, I'm gonna say I've never been a big Aaron Jones guy, so I'm gonna say I like Alex's running backs more. That plus the fact that Joey's flex already put up a donut, or as what was the word he said? A goose egg. I'm gonna take Alex on this one. Sorry, bro. Let's keep going. Petey against Brandon. Close game. Obviously, I have more faith in Lamar than I do Bo Nix. Derrick Henry is an absolute animal at his position. Can we talk about that? The things he was doing to Buffalo, my lord. Like, the fact that they lost that game, it says less about the Ravens and more about Josh Allen is just so good, dude. I gotta say. I trust both of those running backs. A very good running back center for these two teams. But I do like Mike Evans and DK Metcalf more than Njigba and Cortland Sutton. Even though Cortland Sutton had a good game. Just so, I don't know if Petey's going to see this in time, but Brock Bowers is listed as questionable. No, I'm going to cut that out. Brock Bowers is listed as questionable for this game, but I saw a report today. He is expected to play, and he looked quote-unquote fantastic at practice was what the quote was today. So, looks like he might play. Exciting to see Egbuka. Man, that last play by Egbuka last week was fantastic as well. Devontae Smith kind of had a slow game, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, another 4. That's kind of hard to see. But Tyler Warren had a good game too. This is hard. I like Brandon's receivers more. I like Petey's flex more. I like the Ravens defense against Cleveland way more than I like the Broncos defense against Indianapolis. This is going to be a tight one. I'm going to say Petey. Sorry, Brandon. The other Alex, Obi, shout out my boy Obi, against Caillou, my boy Anthony. He picked K-Daton. We're going side by side. McCaffrey might get a little more volume now that Brock Purdy's not playing, so that could be good. Caillou kind of has like injured running back central here between, knock on wood, McCaffrey and Kenneth Walker. Any of them could go down at either time. Etienne's coming off a fantastic game. He had 18.6 where no one expected that. Plus, the Jaguars just traded Tank Bigsby to the Eagles. So that means even more opportunity for playtime for Etienne. I guess that's good. Bucky Irving also fully emerging into his role as RB1. I want to see how Devontae Adams blossoms. How many points did he have? He had 9. Nothing, not horrible, but it's nothing noticeable either. I'm going to say McMillan's coming off a decent game also. How much did Zay Flowers have? 28. Wow. Oof. It looks like his receiver room has been more successful, Caillou, but I don't know about that in the future. I'm a big Devontae Adams guy. Obviously, he was a Jet last year. You know, we all saw what he did with the Packers and stuff, so that could be interesting. Genty at flex for Obi is definitely going to be an interesting move. I think that could really put him over the edge. All things considered, I like the names on Caillou's team more, but I could see Genty's playing against the Chargers, Travis Kelce playing against Philly. Yeah, but Devontae Adams playing against Tennessee. This is a hard one, I gotta say. Man, this is hard. I want to go ahead and say I think that this one is going to go to... I'm going to say Obi, man. I'm sorry, bro. I think this one goes to Obi. I think that there's potential for there to be a lot of receiver upside on Caillou's end. But I think if things go the way that they're supposed to, I think I got Obi on this one. Give me Obi. Let's keep going. Albert Mendez against Noel Graves, C-section. Oh, I like that name. I like that name a lot. That's kind of fire. Albert is coming off a fantastic week. Can we go to Albert real quick? Week 1. A whopping 140.96. So, I wouldn't say there's anything to play about with that. Is he still starting Mark Andrews this week? I'm curious. He is. against Cleveland. Mark Andrews obviously is a tight end coming off the line. He may have to interact with Myles Garrett a lot. That could be scary. But then Njoku on the other side. So team by team for that, I don't really have any faith in Tyreek Hill right now, bro. I'm sorry, Noel. Alvin Kamara had a good game. How much did Jonathan Taylor put up last week? 12. Not bad. How about Travion Henderson? 11. Also not nothing crazy. Marvin Harrison finally looks like he's emerging into the person he is. Garrett Wilson looks like he has a QB that kind of feels his chemistry out. So that's pretty cool. Honestly, but he has Jacoby Myers. Look, Pittman had a great week. I'm pretty sure he had like 20 points. 20 even. Look at that. I don't see him doing that again. I'm going to have to give this one to Albert, bro, unfortunately. Kelvin, who by the time he sees this, it'll be his birthday. Happy birthday, Kelvin. Against David, coming off that win against me. Oh, it was my speaker shutting off. I got super nervous on that one. Listen, Khalil Shakir is my guy. I already seen him in the flex. Justin Jefferson and the other flex is crazy. I like both teams' receivers. George Pickens also could have a decent game. He already has Zach Ertz with 18.4, so that's a good look for him. I think he probably would have been projected a little bit less if Zach Ertz didn't have the game he did. This is going to be a close one, I got to say. I didn't think James Cook was going to do what he did last week either, and then he kind of turned up a little bit. This is going to be a close one. I like Kelvin's flex more as well as his receivers. His starting receivers I like less than David's starting receivers, but obviously Justin Jefferson is a way better flex than Khalil Shakir. This is a close one also. I'm gonna say give me David on this one. Honestly, sorry about that, bro. Did I go through all of them? Yeah, that's it. That's all she wrote right there. So I'm gonna end this. I'm going to wrap things up here. Listen, guys, thank you guys for watching. As always, I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'm happy that football's back. I hope that David gets his ass in one of these chairs pretty soon because we're going to need to get the roll on together. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for week 3. I promised you guys I was going to give you 2 episodes this week, and I wanted to hold up to that. So hold it down to week 3, and I'll see you.
Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me.